In the previous class, we have learned the chapters linear equations in one variable and exponents and powers. So now in our today's class, we are going to learn rational numbers. So this is the first chapter in our textbook and very important. So already in the 6th class, we have learned whole numbers, and so in the 7th class, we have learned integers, and in the 8th class, we are going to learn rational numbers. Okay. So these all are the types of numbers. Okay. In every class, we are learning each type of numbers. So first one, what is mean by rational number? So define a rational number. The numbers which are in the form of p by q, where p comma q are integers. Q which should not be equals to 0 are known as rational numbers or quotient numbers. So these quotient numbers or rational numbers are represented by the letter capital Q. Okay. See the whole numbers starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Natural numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And integers, it contains negative numbers, 0 and positive numbers. Then how the rational numbers will be? The definition is the numbers which are in the form of p by q. Okay, where p comma q are integers, q should not be is equal to 0. Such type of numbers are known as rational numbers or quotient numbers. Those are represented by the letter capital Q. Okay. For example, if you see, we can write this as 2 by 5. See, 2 by 5, p by q form. So here q is does not is equal to 0. So we can say 2 by 5 as rational number. Okay. Minus 5 by 6, 0 by 2 and 8. Okay. See, so this is 8 sir. In the denominator we do not have any number. So here we can write it as 1. So 8 by 1. So p by q form, where q is does not is equal to 0. Okay. So that's why all natural numbers are rational numbers. Okay, but because so you can take 2, 5, 8. See, you can write 2 by 1, 5 by 1 and 8 by 1. So that's why all natural numbers are rational numbers. And one more thing, all whole numbers are rational. See, we can take here 0 by 2, 0 by 100 and 0 by 5 like this. See, what is the condition? Condition is q should not be equal to 0, but p may be equal to 0. Okay, 0 by 2, 0 by 100, 0 by 5. But we can't write 5 by 0. Why? Because q should not be is equal to 0. So if I write like this, what will happen? So 5 by 0 is undefined value. So that's why q should not be is equal to 0. Okay. So 5 by 0 is undefined value. So that's why we are not taking into consideration of rational numbers. Okay. But we can write it as 0 by 5. P value is 0, q value is 5. We can take like this. Numerator may be a 0, but denominator should not be equal to 0. So we can say all natural numbers are rational numbers and all whole numbers are also rational numbers. And third point, all integers are rational numbers. So rational numbers are represented by capital Q. So here examples you can take minus 2 by 3, minus 5 by 7, minus 25 by 36. Okay. So these numbers are rational numbers because they are represented in the form of p by q, but the numerator contains the negative sign. Okay, it may be a negative one or it may be a positive. 14 by 38. Okay, so all these numbers are rational numbers. So we can conclude that all natural numbers, whole numbers and integers, every number, it is in the form of rational number only. But vice versa, all rational numbers are natural numbers, all rational numbers are not whole numbers, all rational numbers are not integers. Okay, only one way is possible. All natural numbers are rational numbers, all whole numbers are rational, and all integers are rational. So in these rational numbers we have some properties. as we discussed in the 6th and 7th. So we have learned the properties: closure property, commutative property, associative property. Okay, so here also we have the same properties. First, closure property. So closure property under addition, a plus b is equal to c. Okay, under addition, under multiplication, here you can take a into b is equal to c. A, B, C are any real numbers. Okay, here you can say any rational numbers. A, B, C are any rational numbers. If you add any two rational numbers, again you will get one more rational number. Here also, if you multiply any two rational numbers, you will get one more rational number. So this closure property satisfies under addition and multiplication only. Okay, so for closure property, everything subtraction and division also it can satisfy. Okay, but remaining properties they won't satisfy in all operations. Okay, so closure property satisfies in all operations under addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay, next commutative property. So commutative property, a plus b is equals to b plus a. Under multiplication, a into b is equals to b into a. Here a and b both are any two rational numbers. If we add the same two rational numbers, we will get the same thing. A plus b is equals to b plus a. Under the multiplication also, a into b is equals to b into a. But in the case of subtraction, it does not satisfy. Okay. Next, associative property. So what is associative property? A plus of b plus c is equals to a plus b of plus c. Under multiplication, a into b into c is equals to a into b of into c. So this is under addition and this is under multiplication. A plus of b plus c is equals to a plus b of plus c. If you take any three rational numbers, the sum of the rational numbers is satisfied in both sides. LHS is equals to RHS. And here A, B, C are any three rational numbers. Under the multiplication also on the both sides it will be satisfied. Next, distributive property. So distributive property under addition over multiplication. Distributive property under addition over multiplication. A into b plus c is equals to a into b plus a into c. And you can take one more property, distributive property under addition over multiplication. A into b minus c is equals to a into b minus a into c. Okay, in this distributive property both the formulas can satisfy. Okay, a into b plus c is equals to a into b plus a into c. Mostly in the 8th class we use this formula only. Okay, a into b minus c is equals to a into b minus a into c. And not only these four properties, we have remaining properties: multiplicative identity, multiplicative inverse, additive identity and additive inverse. So now we are going to learn those properties. Next, additive identity. So additive identity is a property which can be held in whole numbers, integers and rational numbers and real numbers also. Okay, additive identity means by, suppose if you are adding any number to the 0. Okay, if you are adding any number to the 0, you will get the same number a. Okay, here a is any real number, and here a is any rational number. Okay, here a is any rational number. So if you add a to the 0, you will get the same thing, that is a. So here you can write in this way also, 0 plus a. For example, 2 plus 0 is equals to 2, or 0 plus 2 is equals to 2, or 1 by 3 plus 0 is equals to 1 by 3, or you can take 0 plus 1 by 3 also. Okay, if we add any number, if you add any number to the 0, you will get the same number. So that's why we can call 0 as additive identity. Okay, we can call 0 as additive identity. So if you take any number to the 0, you will get the, if you add any number to the 0, you will get the same number. So that's why we can call 0 as additive identity. Next one, additive inverse. So additive inverse mean by, if you take any number a, for example I am taking a rational number a, for this number what you can add to get the sum as 0. Okay, for this rational number we have to add one more number to get the result as 0. So that is what, a plus of minus a, the same number but the sign should be opposite, then only the sum will be 0. A plus of minus a is equal to 0. Then we can call a minus a as, minus a is additive inverse of, additive inverse of a. Here a is any rational number. Okay, so for a rational number, if you add any number to it, you should get sum as 0. So what is the number? The same number but the sign should be opposite, then only we can call this minus a as, minus a is a additive inverse of a. Why? Because if you add both the numbers you should get the sum as 0. For example, so 1 by 2 plus dash is equal to 0. Okay, for 1 by 2 to what value we have to add to get the sum as 0? Just the same number 1 by 2, but the sign should be minus, opposite. Okay, so 1 by 2 plus into minus, minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2, 0. Now we can call this minus 1 by 2 as, minus 1 by 2 is additive inverse, additive inverse of 1 by 2. Okay, for example if I take minus 5 plus dash is equal to 0, for this number minus 5 we have to add one more number to get the sum as 0. The same number but the sign should be opposite. Here the number is having negative, so here we have to write the sum number as positive. Okay, minus 5 plus 5, 0. Now we can call this plus 5 is a additive inverse of minus 5. Plus 5 is a additive inverse of minus 5. Okay, so this is a way of additive identity and additive inverse. We can call 0 as additive identity and we can call here minus a is a additive inverse of a. Next, multiplicative identity. So what is multiplicative identity? For example, if you take any rational number, if you should multiply by 1, you should get the same answer a. A into 1 is equal to a, or 1 into a is also equals to n. So indirectly it is telling that if you multiply any number by 1, you will get the same number. Okay, if you multiply any rational number with 1, you will get the same number. So that's why 1 is known as multiplicative identity. Okay, so if you multiply any number with 1, you will get the same number. So that's why 1 is known as multiplicative identity. For example, 5 by 7 into 1 is equal to how much? So we can write this as by 1. 5 into 1, 5, by 7 into 1, 7. See, if you multiply by 1, the number 5 by 7, we are getting the result as 5 by 7 only. For example, if you take minus 2 by 3 into 1, you get the answer as minus 2 by 3 only. So that's why 1 is known as multiplicative identity. If you multiply any number with the 1, you will get the same number. So that's why 1 is known as multiplicative identity. And next property, multiplicative inverse. So multiplicative inverse mean by, see, if you take any number, if you take any rational number, okay, multiply with some number, you should get the answer as 1. Here, take any number, any rational number, multiply by some number, you should get the result as 1. So here I am taking 1 by a. See, a will be cancelled and we get the answer as 1. Okay, a into 1 by a is equals to 1. Here 1 by a is the multiplicative inverse of a. For example, if you take 6, so 6 is a normal rational number. Why? Because we can write by 1. 6 by 1. So what is the multiplicative inverse of 6 by 1? So here we can write 1 by 6. Just reverse of it. Okay? Why? Because we can cancel 6 ones and 6 ones. If you multiply 1 ones are 1, 1 ones are 1. So your answer is 1. Now we can say 1 by 6 is a multiplicative inverse of 6. Okay? 1 by 6 is multiplicative inverse of 6. For example, one more example, if you take, see, 2 by 3. 2 by 3 into dash is equals to 1 by y. Okay? By what number we have to multiply 2 by 3 to get the answer as 1. So just reverse of this number. 2 by 3 reverse of is what? 3 by 2. Okay? So 3 ones are 3 ones are 2 ones are 2 ones are. And finally your answer is what? 1. So 3 by 2 is a multiplicative inverse of 2 by 3. So these are the 7 properties which are involving in rational numbers and very important. So once again, see, additive identity. What is additive identity? 0 is additive identity. Why? Why? Because if you add any rational number to the 0, you will get the same rational number. That's why we can say 0 as additive identity. Next, additive inverse. So what is additive inverse? If you add any number to the rational number, you should get the sum as 0. If you add any number to the rational number, you should get the sum as 0. Okay, for example, here minus a is a additive inverse of a. Why? Because if I add these two numbers, I am getting the sum as 0. Okay, so that's why minus a is a additive inverse of a. Sometimes they will give the minus a number. Okay, for this number what we have to add? A is equal to 0. So here in the second example, a is a additive inverse of minus a. Okay, next multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity mean by, you can multiply any rational number by 1, you should get the same number. So that's why 1 is known as multiplicative identity. 5 by 7 into 1, we get 5 by 7 only. 2 minus 2 by 3 into 1, minus 2 by 3 itself. Okay, next multiplicative inverse. If you multiply any two rational numbers, you should get the answer as 1. Then those two numbers are known as multiplicative inverse of each other. A into 1 by a. Here a will be cancelled and we get the answer as 1. So that's why 1 by a is a multiplicative inverse of a. Okay, the example 2 by 3. So what is the answer? 3 by 2. So if we cancel, we get the answer as 1. Now we can say 3 by 2 is a multiplicative inverse of 2 by 3. Okay students, learn the properties today, and in the next class we are going to solve some problems based on these properties. Thank you.